Hi folks, Mr. Burton here, and here's a video about tuning guitars with an app called GuitarTuna on iPhone or Android. Chances are, if you're watching this, you're either one of my new pupils or the parent of one of my pupils, in which case, welcome, and we've either briefly met already or have briefly met your son or daughter already. I'll just explain quickly why I'm putting this video together. Usually, tuning a guitar is something that I leave till later on in the process of learning, but this year with the COVID stuff, it's important that we're going to get that done out the way. It's actually quite a difficult skill, which is why we're going to use an app to help us. It's important that we do it this year because it's going to minimise the amount of time that I have to spend passing guitars between myself and my pupils, and therefore the amount of time that I'm going to have to spend wiping guitars down, and therefore maximise the amount of useful lesson time. So here we go. The app that we're going to use is GuitarTuna. It's spelt Guitartuna. Okay, so it's the word guitar and the word tuna, but spelt like the fish, not a guitar tuner. The logo of the app is a green guitar pick. I'm going to show you this like this because I don't have lots of cameras and stuff. There's the logo. It's a green guitar pick with a sort of shark fin built into it. You can download that. It's for free on, this is an Android device, so on Android Play Store, or you can download it on iPhone as well. I've never used it on the iPhone. I've seen other people use it on an iPhone. It works in the same way. So we're going to launch the app, so I'm just going to click on the app, and you'll see the first time of launching. We come up with a few bits of bump. We have to grant it access to record audio. That's so that it can use the microphone to listen to our guitar strings. So I'm going to grant it access to that. We get a little kind of privacy notice and things like that. I'm just going to skip past that. And then we, by the way, there are in-app purchases to this. We won't need to go near those. The in-app purchases are for more exotic instruments. So it gives us a list of instruments that we might like to tune. We're just going to choose the guitar. Okay, it's going to tell us again that it needs access to the microphone. I'm going to allow it to do that. It's going to show me a little advert for the paid for version, which I'm going to get rid of. And here is the main screen. Okay, so we've got a drawing here of the headstock of the guitar, and you can see the tuning pegs, and it tells us what note each string is tuned to. Okay, if I hold my guitar up like that, you can see that the drawing corresponds to what we see on the guitar. This is a nylon string guitar, so the machine heads that on the picture are sticking out to the side are actually folded back, but it is the same thing. Now when we're tuning here, I've deliberately down-tuned my guitar. I've deliberately sort of made a mess of the tuning here so that I can show you. As I play a note, it's going to tell me which string I'm playing. So I'm going to start with the thickest string, which makes the lowest sound. It's the highest string sorry, I'll explain that again. It's the string furthest towards the ceiling. Okay, but we call it the lowest string because it makes the lowest notes. Okay, so I'm going to start with the low E. So as I play this, you're going to see the low E here light up. There we go. And it's going to tell me above here whether I need to tighten or loosen my string. So if it is on the left as you look at it, if the line comes up on the left, it means that the string is flat and I need to tighten the string up by turning the machine heads anti-clockwise. And if the line comes up on the right as I look at it, then it means the string is sharp and I'm going to need to loosen it. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. We can see the red line there, and I'm going to tighten the string. You can hear that. I'm gradually getting closer. The sound stop, I'm going to flick it again with my left hand here. There we go. So we've got a little green flag there, as we can see, and it made a little noise for us to let us know that we were in tune. I'm going to move on. So the next string I'm going to do is the A string. So here we go. We can see that's sharp. I'm going to loosen it. Reduce the tension on the string. There we go. The sound on this phone is turned right down, so I don't know if you can hear the noise, but it does make a little noise there. Next string is the D string, up here. There we go. There we go. The next string is going to be the G string. Okay, so that's going to move over to the other side of the headstock, so it's going to be up here. We can hear that's flat. Okay, now the next string I've down-tuned a long way so that I can deliberately show you another way to use this. So this, I'm using this at the moment on auto mode, okay? Now what that means is that I assume that the strings are fairly close to being in tune, and I just want to make those last final small adjustments to get them absolutely perfect. And this now is telling us which string I'm tuning. Okay, so I'm playing the string, it's identifying which string it's hearing, and then it's telling me if it's sharp or flat. There is a chance, of course, that a string is so far out of tune that it won't be able to tell which string we're meant to be tuning. Say the guitar gets knocked on the way home, or who knows, somebody's been messing about with this or whatever. So the next string I've deliberately down-tuned so far that I think it will not be able to tell us which string it should be. It tells me it's a G string, but it's not. I'm actually playing the B string. It should be the B string, the middle of this side, but it's identifying the G string, and that's wrong. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tap on the B string there. So now it tells me that I'm in manual mode, so that is where I need to select which string I'm tuning. Okay, so the B string is so far out of tune, I've selected it. You can hear, well, I'll turn this up actually. There we go. You should be able to hear now. It's going to play to me what it should sound like. So you can hear mine is a long way out from that. So now I can play other strings, but it won't go over to those other strings. It will stay on the B string. Okay, so that's in manual mode, not auto mode. So here we go. I'll try and tune the B string. It tells me it's right. The red little flag is right over here. It tells me I'm very, very flat. So we're getting closer now. There we go, we're quite close now. A little more. Oh, okay. There's the little noise there as well. Now the next thing, I'm going to tune the last string, the highest string. It's called the highest string because it makes the highest notes, even though it's closest to the floor. It's an E string, but as you can see, my tuner's not moved on yet because I'm not in auto mode. It's not going to correctly identify that I am playing an E at the moment because I've told it that I should be playing the B string. So I need to now either put it back in manual mode, in auto mode by flicking the switch at the top here, or I can tell it that I'm going to move on to the E string and it will let me hear what that sounds like. Here we go. There we are. And now our guitar should be ready to play as normal. Now, I'd really appreciate it if you are one of my pupils, if you could go through this process. Parents, it would be really useful if you could do it with them on the night before their lesson in school. Okay, that hopefully will mean that they'll turn up to their lesson and the guitar will still be in tune from the night before and we won't need to tune it in the lesson. And again, it will save all those delays of having to pass the guitars backwards and forwards, which will mean I'll need to wipe them all down due to the COVID. If you could do that the night before, that would be really useful. I'd really appreciate it. You probably will find that you won't need to do this more than probably once a week, maybe twice a week. Maybe more if your guitar gets knocked or it gets knocked in the bag on the way home or something like that. They're usually fairly good at staying in tune. All the guitars that are coming home from me are nylon strung guitars, which are not quite as good at staying in tune as steel strung, but they're still okay. They should still be fine to last a week in between tunings. Okay, so I hope this has been useful, and I look forward to seeing either you or your son or daughter for their next guitar lesson in a few days' time. Okay, see you, bye-bye.